Hello, YouTuber Woobers. Tuesday, the 20th, and I want to talk to you about basically meditation or prayer. Um, it's, it's something, I certainly was raised Catholic, and, we sat there in our pews and, you know, said the Hail Mary and all those things. And I never really found myself at total peace. And it wasn't really until I started doing some more of spiritual work, metaphysical work, that I really had a better connection. Now I feel very much at peace in churches that I hadn't felt before, and connection. And but I wanted to talk to you more about some techniques that I do that helps me um, get a certain amount of clarity. And I'll often do them daily, or I'll do them every so often. And I might share other techniques, but today I'm just going to focus on the chakra system. And the chakra system, you can Google it. Um, I'm trying to think of how you spell chakra. I think it's Chakra. Chakra. You can always catch me on spelling. My daughter asks me how to spell this and that, and it keeps me sharp. But yeah, do a search on the internet for chakra, and you might be able to bring up a lot of information. I really got my first introduction when I was studying Reiki, but it actually transcends a lot of different scopes. And even you know, there's chakras through, generally the main chakras go down through our center, but they are also all over the place. They're in their hands. You ever notice how people always shake hands with the right hand to right hand, or left hand to left hand? It's an exchanging of energy, um, and prayer and gratitude and friendship and all that. But in the end, in the very beginning, it's basically energy, and it has different kinds of techniques. So one technique I wish to share with you today is it helps the chakra system that runs down the main uh, trunk of the body. Um, they channel energy from above, from whether it's Mother Earth or God, or who you find is your spiritual guidance, to the earth, down through yourself, down into the earth, which of course is Mother Nature, and also grounding and such as that. So a method that I learned so many years ago, at least 20, um, it's kind of like a window screen. If you take a window screen that's dirty, you're going to stick it out and you're going to hose it down with a garden hose, and clean out all the stuff that's clogged into the screen. So my technique is that you take the garden hose, but you're going to use a golden yellow color of the water, or for my extent, it's energy, but you can think of it as water, because energy and water are kind of the same thing. Although generally water is emotions, but that's all our discussion. Um, so over here on the wall here is, let's see how I can do this that would make free weeds. Anyone want free weeds? All right, so here's a picture of basically the chakra system. I don't know how good that is. I think I got this picture off of chakras.org, so I want to make a note of that I'm not trying to plagiarize their thing. I thought about drawing my own picture, and yeah, my art, freehand art, is not that great. So here it is here. This is the crown, which is above your head. And then you got the third eye, which is in the center of the forehead. Remember, a lot of horror movies, they see an eye in the center of the forehead, or you'll see some crowns or such that have a crystal right at the center of the forehead. It's kind of a curious thing because things kind of fall back. You have the throat chakra, just the center of your throat. A heart chakra. Solar plexus is in the stomach. The sacral is down at the base of the body, and then the base is not really where the legs are. It's down where it's down here, where the base of your feet are. So the crown, is up above your head. Third eye is about into seeing, sight, but more of an emotional, intellectual sense of feelings, seeing with your brain. And then throat chakra is about voice, speech, and everything that has to do with the throat. Heart, of course, is the heart, but it's also about love, emotions. Solar plexus, your gut feeling, also an emotional type of thing. You can search online and get a lot of definitions about the different ones. And sacral is, sexual and various things like that. And then base, of course, is down at the bottom where it is. So the energy flows generally from above straight down through the chakras to the earth. And then if any of these chakras are actually clogged up with stuff, that flow won't flow through as easily as it can be. So the clearing of the chakras helps a lot in making them a little bit more flow. Of course, working on personal stuff related to different elements will also help you clear through all this thing. Like, for example, me, I'm overweight. I protect this area of my body with fat. And people that you see that are overweight and they have more of their weight here, they're protecting a certain part of their emotions here. There are some people that have a lot of weight in the hips. That area, you'll be kind of like they're thin all the way down to the hips, and then they might have huge hips and legs, both men and women, and that's, another area where they're, so I can go on and on about all these things. But essentially, we're talking today about, a clearing technique. One of the things you don't want to do, some people think that it's always good to be grounded where you are. And when you're grounded to the earth, well, being grounded and being connected to the earth are two different things. And being grounded is really kind of allowing the energy to flow through you and down into the earth. However, if you're connected to the earth, a lot of different things that are going on in the world around you will tend to be more in your face. So being connected and grounded are two different things. And when there's a lot of trauma going on, you don't want to really be connected to what everybody else is doing. But at any rate, back to my cleaning of the chakras. So imagine that this is a screen. And it's nice to go from the top down because gravity, everything, if you try to visualize this in your head, you're not going to see, water going up. You're going to see it going down. So imagine this is a screen, a window screen, and you're going to take a garden hose with yellow and golden light or color, and you're going to basically go back and forth, and up and down, and left and right, and, just like you would cleaning a window screen. And you'd get it all nice, sparkling clean, and you'd see that in your imagination, and then you would go on to the next one, and the next one, and so forth down the road. And sometimes if you're doing this, you might actually fall asleep during this procedure, just because you're finding yourself getting into a deeper level of connection and relaxation. And that is really the whole point of doing prayer or meditation, is being able to relax and get yourself into a position of peace and connection with those spiritual um, energies which you find peace with. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today with this little thing. Um, I have other techniques that I can teach you also, but it's a pretty interesting technique. This is something you could probably teach other people, but if you do this work you can actually do this for somebody else. Like say you had somebody that you were visiting that was in the hospital and they weren't really able to do this themselves. You could sit there in the chair and imagine it through their body and go through and start at the top. Even though they're lying down, it really doesn't matter. You can in your mind's eye, you could be thinking about it, hurt them standing up, and you could go through each one. It would help allow the energy to flow through their body, which is always a good healing technique, because when you get a bottle up, of emotions, it tends to flow through. Um, so you can do this for other people, but it's better to teach people how to do it than to do it for them, because it's a different thing. Um, and if you try this for other people that are consciously able to do it themselves, you'll understand why it would have been better to teach them. Maybe a good homework assignment, but just sharing. So this is really kind of a cool thing to do. Now, some people will do is once you have the energy flowing, you can imagine the energy flowing. I should bring this out a bit, shouldn't I? I keep going off the page. I don't know how good of a teacher I would be working with blackboards and stuff. But anyway, you can imagine the energy from above flowing straight down through the system and into the ground below. Um, some people have taken, like imagine a fluorescent light tube and then putting it down and going down into the earth. But like I've explained before, there's that when you make a connection to the earth, grounding yourself to the earth, what does is it helps you keep this vertical access, so you're not falling over emotionally. You're staying connected. So grounding yourself into the earth is a healthy thing, but not always connecting with the earth is a healthy thing, because if there's any trauma going on in the world at the time, you may find yourself connected to that, like an earthquake or flooding or a mass murder, bombings, all even a forest fire, even though a forest fire can be very healing to the earth, it may not be healing to people that live where the fire is happening. So you have to kind of like think about, what's going on before you do a connection. Um, Water, like moving water, is basically emotion. So you find it very tranquil to sit next to a stream, but sometimes you're picking up a lot of the trauma that's been happening along that stream. So you kind of have to be aware of your surroundings before you do a connection to the earth. But yeah, so Google chakras if you're unfamiliar with it, and it's very common in Reiki because they use it as energy flows down. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. The Reiki, a lot of Japanese medicine, they refer to a lot of Chinese. You're going to see this. You're going to see this a lot. You're going to see the pattern. They may not call it the same thing, but you're going to see the pattern. These are just recommendations of different crystals. The amethyst, um, uh, solar plexus is usually, if you notice the color of the wall, to the chart. That's kind of I've laid out the whole house this way. So I have a rose quartz in the kitchen, and I have amethyst in the living room. I have throat chakra in the bedroom. I have heart, which is usually red, although the base down here is red. Well, I have a door painted red. I've got different places painted red. Red's a hard color to paint on a wall, but you can do it. I have yellow with a trim, the yellow trim. Um, I also, the weeds room is green for the heart. So that was kind of the way that I did my house in the colors of the chakra, which I thought was kind of cool. But at any rate, coming back to the this is, of course, Tuesday, and so Tuesday has some techniques for you to learn if you wish to. So if you wish to um, watch their video, I'll post a link at the bottom, and maybe I'll post a link to this photograph also, so it gives you something to to go by. Ta-ta.